Welcome. You are most welcome to yet another beautiful show. You are most welcome to yet another beautiful day, wherever you are. We send our warm greetings to you. This is Humanists TV Africa. And your host is Kato Mukasa. And this is Humanists TV Africa. Of course, I'm a Ugandan, and I'm very proud to be a Ugandan. I identify myself as a Ugandan who is interested in issues, human rights, and of course, issues humanism. And we are here with Humanists TV Africa, advancing critical thinking, advancing enlightenment again, because we believe that we are in the age of knowing. We are in the age of knowing, the age of information. We want to ensure that miseducation is no more, especially in Africa. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. This is Humanists TV Africa. Our YouTube face book is Humanists TV Africa. Please subscribe, share, subscribe, like, comment. If you want to be hosted here, please write to us. Our email is right there on your screen. Please do write to us. Humanists TV Africa at proton.me. Write to us so that can be able to be hosted here and be part of this conversation. Please join us, write to us, communicate with us, give us feedback. Actually, you can criticize us. And if you think you want to be part of this show, please simply write to us and say, I want to be part of the show. I want to be part of the gang. I want to be part of XYZ show. I want to join Mambu in his show. I want to join Nana in his show. I want to join Anandip in his show. I want to be part of XYZ. If you want to be part of our shows, please simply use that email, Humanists TV Africa at proton.me. If you want to criticize us, please use the same email. If you think we have talked something which is aching you, which is not right in your own way, please always give us feedback and we can host you and you give your own side of the story. We can always host you and you give your own side of the story. Remember, we have studios in Ghana, 2 studios in Ghana, 3 studios in Uganda, 1 studio in Kumasi, so far in Ghana. Of course, we have a studio in Zambia, a studio in Zimbabwe, and 2 studios in Kenya. And we are growing very strong. We are growing very strong, crossing borders, and we are international. We are international. Of course, we have a studio in Europe, and we intend to have more studios across the globe. Remember, this is a TV channel which works every day. We don't sleep, we don't rest. We are here to exchange ideas with you. We are here to debunk mythology. We are here to promote critical thinking. We are here to defend the rights of humanity. Now, today is Kato and the gang, and my gang of 3 is already in the studio. We are going to fight. We are going to rumble. We are going to disagree to agree. As usual, I have the Tarot man with his woody all about Tarotquism, and that man wants to make me a Tarot, which I'm still thinking whether I should avoid my tribes and go with the Tarot people. I'm still contemplating. Of course, we have Nana Kufo from Ghana. He's also there. He's trying to preach to me issues of Ghana humanism, and I'm still contemplating about becoming a Ghanaian. We never know. There may be something good in Ghana, etc. good. And of course, we have Mambu from Sierra Leone. Mambu, a very robust thinking man from Sierra Leone, very hardworking man there. Mambu is also another human rights advocate in Sierra Leone. Of course, I've told you about my Taroko man, Nandip Bongfa. Nandip Bongfa, the man from the Taroko land. We still argue with him. We fight every day and we reconcile and we fight another day. Here we are. Today, we are discussing politics, economics, and region in Africa. But of course, we want to specialize in the region today. We want to look at the region. How does these religious beliefs affect us in Africa? Is the topic today. Nandip, I was born within a Catholic setting, and I can tell you how bad Catholicism is. Without missing words, Catholicism is a very bad idea. I don't fear talking about it. Catholicism is a very bad idea. Yet, I went to Catholic schools. Yet, I got my best education in Catholic schools. But I still tell you, Catholicism is a very bad idea. I don't know about Ghana. I don't know about Sierra Leone. I don't know about Nigeria. But I tell you, Catholicism is a bad idea. I was once a Catholic until the age of 12, and I said, to hell with this nonsense called Catholicism. And of course, I've experienced Islam. I've gone to school with Muslims. I have so many Muslim friends, and I tell you, Islam is completely a nonsensical idea. I wouldn't have advised them to become a Muslim, just like I can't advise them to become a Catholic. The same madness in SDA, the same madness in all these religions and religious beliefs. Remember, Nandip, you the Taroko man, you know that actually we have also African traditional religions. Sometimes you guys tend to forget and focus on Islam, Catholicism, SDA, Mormon, and all this nonsense. You forget your own devil at the backyard, the African Taroko religion, the Baganda nonsense of religions and all that kind of stuff. Now, we want to look at all these religions in totality and ask ourselves, how have they affected us? I can give you my own story, but no, let me begin with you. The first in studio was Nandip. Nandip Bongfa, I want to welcome you on the platform and tell us what is wrong with your own religions in Nigeria today.
Yes, thank you so much. Can you hear me right? Can everybody hear me?
Increase your volume. Your volume is a bit low.
Yeah, can you hear me, everyone?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yes. Thank you so much, Comrade Katu, for these questions about my own religion in Nigeria. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Nandip Andrew Bongfa. Bongfa is my grandfather's name. He's a traditionalist, believe in worshiping of idols. We have a multitude of idols that our people worship in the Tarok nation. We have some things like called Adur, that is worship of a mountain. We have what is called Ichir, worship of idols. We have what is called Orim, worship of our ancestors, and so many others religious and way of worship in our kind of traditional belief. So, I was born not a Christian in the first place. My mother came in from a purely traditional background. She never go to their family. Have a kind of a traditional, yearly traditional kind of festival of which they go around playing displaying kind of a supernatural might, but eating fire, playing with fire. And I wonder, the Christian says that if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, you are going to burn in hellfire. So which of the hellfire that this Christian they are going to put the people of Tarok extraction in? When we eat fire, we put fire on our body, dance with it. To tell you that that thing is just completely nonsense. So at my father's side, is also kind of a traditional person per se, because when I grew up, I didn't see them go to church until when we are in the barracks. My father is a military man, that is a ex-soldier, So when I'm growing up in the barrack, we only go to church. That is once in a year. That is during Christmas. That is some few weeks from now. That is December, during the birth of Jesus Christ. And we are in the barracks. We are not in the village. So when we see people going, they have to say, okay, you people have to follow these people, so that because there is no shrine in barracks, so we have to follow the Christians to go to the church for their Christmas worship and praying to the blue boy, the white boy with the blue eye called Jesus Christ, that he was born. And that continues every year. He was continuing to be born, giving birth. That doesn't make sense to a real proper thinking person. So to wrap it up, my parents are not that Christians or Muslim, but they are traditional believers. Not until when my father retired in 1986, and he died, and the Catholic, that's where I get the name Paul. The Catholic came and recruited my mother into Catholicism. So she used her influence, to drag me into the Catholic Church. I was baptized when I was 14 years, not a child, not an what you call it, child baptism or baby baptism, when I've already grown. So to tell you that I'm not into kind of religion of a thing. And by 2000, I become a strong member of the Catholicism, of which I know a lot about Catholic Church. At the same time, by 2001, I was confirmed as a strong member of the Catholic Church. I joined the Legion of Mary. I was their Block Rosary Crusade promoter, and I go evangelizing about Catholicism. And at the same time, when I become so powerful in Catholicism, I started, making more research at that particular, because that time in Nigeria there's not too much internet. So I make sure that any book I saw, I have to make sure I read about religion. So I came across a book called The Gospel of Barnabas. That is 2001. And that changed the narrative in the first instance. And then in that Gospel of Barnabas, I was told that it's one of the disciple of Jesus Christ. But in the contemporary Jesus Christ disciple, Barnabas was not there. Except when you read in the book of Acts, you discover that Barnabas' name was mentioned. But in the Gospel of Mark, Luke, John, and whatsoever, Barnabas was not mentioned. And subsequently, I discovered another book that is some years later called the Da Vinci Code. It talks about Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, and how this, because Catholicism, I worship Mary, in quote, that is the mother of Jesus Christ. If you want to go to Jesus Christ, you have to go through Mary, because you are sinless, you cannot go to God, because we are told that Jesus Christ is God, because it's God that came in a man form. That's how we believe. That's why we are told. But in the real sense, when I make further researches, I discover that all this is nonsense. It doesn't make any sense at all. In the Da Vinci Code, I discovered that aspect of Mary is just a complete fabrication by people, by the Rome, by the Roman Catholic, that is people of Italy, to confuse other people to believe that there is someone that exists called Jesus Christ, and he has a mother that has never slept with another man. And how can you just give birth to a child without have a sexual intercourse? In biology, you will know that a male and female have to copulate together, and then the next thing you have to have a festus, that is a child will come up. But they say it's the power of God. God can do. Why can't God just make Adam and Eve and everybody to appear without just this suffering that we are going through? So everything about religion doesn't make sense. Now let me divert back to the traditional aspect of religion that I was trying to promote in Tarok. Everything about Tarok traditional religion has been gone. What I mean gone is gone. You are in your village giving birth and you are given a Tarok name like Nandip, that is God has buried. Like the way Katu, your name also is God, right? Comrade, God has buried, that is my name. Then, and many other Tarok sons and daughters that they are giving birth in the village, given a traditional name. When they come to the city, those names, they will change it to a English name. They will abandon their traditional religious name and pick up an English name and put to tell you that they have abandoned their roots. They have abandoned where they came from. They have, some of my video that I make in the Tarot tradition and culture, I've been advising them in my dialect that we should stop changing our names. We should stop, throwing our traditional names away and picking European name or English name and be fixing it. That doesn't make any sense at all. You have to be proud of the names your parents give to you, the names of your grandmother give to you, the name of your tradition, not to be, promoting other people aspect
I
of.
must stop you
I
there.
must stop
I
you
must
there.
stop
I
you
must
there.
stop you there. Oh, I've not finished.
You will come back later. The Tarokman
The
was flowing
Tarokman
very
was
well.
flowing very well.
Producer, may you please
Producer,
mute up? The Tarokman was flowing very, very well. And I had to stop him because I like his stories, I like his Taroquism, and I like his energy. But we are going to come back and fight over that. Let us go to Ghana. Let us go to Ghana and listen to my brother Nana Kufo. How about these Ghanaian gods? Are they as confused as my gods in Uganda, or your gods are a bit better? If they are confused like my gods, you're in trouble. Tell us about your gods.
Thank you, Comrade Kato. Thank you, everyone watching us this evening. This is a very interesting topic, and it needs to be heard by each one and every one of us. You know, our religion, as one of a historian, J.B. Dankwa, said, the African is notoriously religious, and it is true because as a Ghanaian and from the Akan people, everything about us is about God. Unyame, unyame. But the most important thing is this Onyankopon, Twediampon, the names and the attributes of these gods are different from the Abrahamic God that the Christian religion enslaved us with. But the Christian God have hijacked the names of our gods. So even the Christians doesn't even know Onyankopon is not the name of Jehovah, but yet they go into our church and mention the name Onyankopon. Twediampon. The name Twediampon means Ochie means the leopard. The leopard. You know the accounts, we have these matric clans. If you watch my interview with the other man, you will have known about these matric clans. The leopard is by the Bretro clan in the Akan system. So the Bretro people believe God descended from the sky to them, and that God was a woman. Onyame was a woman. And when this God was coming from the sky and with the Bretro people, there was a leopard among them and they descended from the skies on a silver chin, and they descended from the sky. So Ochediampon is the leopard tails doesn't rest. Leopard tail, which means the accounts, because they were forest dwellers, they realized the leopards, the tails of the leopard doesn't rest. It's always shaking. So they said Ochediampon, which means this God is always there. He is always trying, always alive. And when the Christians came, the first thing they did was to to steal these names and attributed it to the God of the Jews, or the God of the Bible. So the Christians today even don't realize that the names they have been mentioning are what they consider to be gods, or a god with a DS with S at the end, like a letter. They consider these gods are lesser gods. Let me use the term lesser gods. But they have hijacked this name and transferred the name to this Abrahamic God called Onyame. So it is very difficult to have a conversation with an Asante man or an Akan man who I'm using with a Ghanaian, because right now most of Ghana we've all embraced each other's culture, but the Akan culture has been well established all over the place because the Akan people who had influence in Ghana. So I can say okay, let me use the term the Ghanaian culture to let people. So the Ghanaian himself thinks the language, because we see God in our language. God manifests in our languages. But because the white people have been able to turn the language into the side of the Israelite God, the person doesn't even know the names he or she is mentioning is a local God, the name of our local gods. So our situation is very difficult because the people you are trying to talk with doesn't have any knowledge about their history. They don't know the history, how their people, even how Ghana was populated, how they don't care to know. All they know is Kwame Nkrumah got in, but Kwame Nkrumah didn't think like that for us. Kwame Nkrumah was thinking that Ghana will be the star of Africa. The Ghanaians will move from Ghana and go throughout Africa and preach the word of Pan-Africanism. That was what Nkrumah was thinking, that he will educate the Ghanaian for the Ghanaian to go throughout Africa, for the Ghanaian to educate other Africans that we are one people and we must come together and live under one united African government. That was the intention of Nkrumah. But as soon as Nkrumah left, our education system collapsed. There were other governments who tried to, but if you lose your history, if you don't know your history, there are so many things you will lose, because language is very important. Language is very important, and we understand this world from the languages. So if someone has even translated your language from his language, because the Chi language, as we use, it was being written in Portuguese, because the Portuguese were the first people to come to Ghana. So our language, how we write it, and we are proud, and we all say, this is Chi language, but the symbols being used are Portuguese symbols, and it serves as we don't have our own symbols to serve as our language. So the situation, it makes it difficult trying to convince, because the person doesn't know history. If a Ghanaian will say tete, which means in the past, this person is talking about the 90s and the 80s. So if you are trying to convince him, look, there 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago, the person doesn't even understand 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago, or what he knows in the past. The person thinks you are talking about the 80s or the 90s. We are being educated, but the education we've got here in Ghana is nothing to write home about. I'm telling you, this is very difficult.
Thank you so much, Nana. Nana, thank you so much, Nana. And I think because of the network, we are losing a bit. Nana, I'll
Yes.
pause you there, Nana.
Okay, thank you.
No,
Okay.
I'll pause you there, but we are going to come back. Let us
Okay.
go to Sierra Leone. Mambo. We are talking about religion today and how it has affected us in Africa. So far, the two panelists have been talking more about the traditional religions. Maybe pick it from there, but also take us through now these imported religions. When I say imported, you can call them exotic. How can an African say I'm a Catholic? I always ask myself a question. How can an African say I'm a Protestant? You are protesting from what? How can an African say I'm a Muslim? Since when are you Muslim? Are you Arabic? Are you Roman? Are you from the Saxons to be a Protestant? Why are you a Mormon? Why are you a Buddha? Whatever it is. Because first of all, if you ask my take, if I have the guts to say that my gods are trash, my name Kato is the name of a god, my name Mukasa is the name of a god, but I say that my gods are useless. That's why they couldn't fight the imperialistic Caucasians. They couldn't fight them because my gods were useless, were weak. Now, I dismissed my gods. Now, if I dismiss my gods, how dare you convince me that the gods from Rome are better than my gods? Therefore, I should embrace them. When they use those gods to enslave us, to steal from us, and to do everything wrong to us, they used those very gods. Now, if I can dismiss my own gods, how dare you tell me that I'm going to embrace gods from Arabia, gods from Middle East, gods from all these other wanderers, giving us their confused, enslaving, imperialistic gods? I always challenge Africans. Why do you believe in the nonsense which Europe has given us? Why do you believe in the nonsense which Arabia has given us? When our own people go to Saudi Arabia, when they go to Middle East, they are treated as worse as animals. And then you tell us that Saudi Arabia gave us Islam. What a nonsensical way of thinking. That someone who takes me as a slave, as less than a human being, can give me a God to worship? That someone who comes and enslaves me right in my own homeland and takes my land and takes my wealth can give me a God to worship? Why would Africans be Catholics? Why would Africans be Protestants? Why would they be Muslims? Why? If you can dismiss our own gods, we must have the energy, the courtesy to dismiss all other stupid foreign gods. Over to you, Mambu. What's your take on this?
Yeah, Comrade Kato, thank you very much. When Nandi was explaining, I was just thinking about the way I grew up. I actually grew up as a Catholic. I was baptized and I was even confirmed in the year 2002. And I was actually yearning to go for vocation to actually become a Catholic priest. But along the way, I saw a lot of things that actually moved me from that idea of becoming a priest. And I actually see a lot of things because I was also a man server. I was also serving as an altar boy in the Catholic Church. So we used to be with the Reverend Fathers, we used to serve them. But I can also say that the reason why mostly Africa actually embraced these foreign religions is because of poverty. Poverty is actually responsible for this, and actually the mentality. That is why the Catholic Church, you always see them, they have schools. And these schools are there. Of course, I went to a Catholic school, Christ the King College. And these schools are there actually to mentor, to actually nurture these young brains to believe that the Catholic mission is the best, or the Catholic God is the best, or whatever they are doing is the best. But along the way, when I was a Catholic, I realized that when you are being ordained as a priest, you take an oath that you will never have anything to do with a woman. And then I see a lot of priests have children. In fact, we are competing out there on women. In fact, most of them, they even get these women because they have money and we don't have it. They have cars, they have this house, and they are all enjoying out of our money that we pay in this church, out of the money we put as a collection, which they receive, that they are also giving it to God. They are enjoying this money with the girls that we are all competing with, and they are getting the girls out of our own money. So I see it as stupidness. That was why I left the Catholic Church. And then you also see again a lot of fiction, that if we believe that our God is actually a merciful God, they say God will forgive you 70 times 7 a day of your sins. Then why would I go to hell? when I know that every day I have 70 times 7 deduction of my sin, and when I know that I will not even commit a sin on a day to even 5 or 6. So why will I know that I have a God? I mean, according to them, there is a God who forgives your sin 70 times 7 a day. And then why will you tell me that there is hellfire, that I'm going to hell? You know, and also if you look at, I also read a lot of, I mean, we before the Catholic or the Islam, our people used to worship, we call it ATR, the African traditional religion. Some used to worship stone, I mean, go to the stone, some to a river.
Yeah, Mambo is breaking. Of course, network issues is a problem right now in many countries in Africa. Mambo is breaking, but Mambo was driving a very good point. One of the points I loved, and if you paid attention, and Mambo said that the reason why he left Catholicism is because priests were competing with him when it came to women. And I found it very challenging because I have my own story with a priest who took my girlfriend. But that story is for another day. I have a confession to make. A priest in Uganda took my girlfriend and didn't even stop there, made her pregnant. A priest in Uganda took my girlfriend, didn't even stop there, made her pregnant. So you see how hopeless these people are. You see how hopeless these people are, pretending they put on dresses. I call them dresses, long gowns, cassocks. Very funny people there. Of course, I have friends among them, but I normally despise 80% of these priests. They are all sham, they are fake, they are crooks, they are scandalous. But having said that, Mambo, let me go back to you. It's your time. It was what time it was only interpreted by the network. Go ahead and flow very well with your argument.
Yeah. So being that they were worshiping all these things, and then you bring a white God and say what you are doing is nonsense. What you are doing is not working. In fact, if you worship an idol, it means you are going to hell fire, because you are worshiping in your own African way, that their own God, which they have introduced to us as Africans, is the best. And you spend your money, you have to spend your money, your time, you have to, in fact, coerce your children to also follow this God. And let me set myself as an example. When I was in my country, we call it Form 3, that's JSS 3. And I was with my uncle, and my uncle was a Muslim. After I've served as a man, after I've been a man server, I've been baptized, I've been confirmed in the Catholic Church. Because on every Sunday, the priest used to take us, we eat at their home, they will drive us around. So I was very happy because I'm the Catholic. I see it as an opportunity to be in a car, to eat free food on Sundays. I mean, to drive around the town on Sundays. So making me a Catholic was a great opportunity for me at that time. So when I went to my uncle for my secondary school, I mean in JSS 3, and my uncle was a fanatic Muslim. That if you are not even a Muslim in his house, you will not even eat during their Ramadan, the month of Ramadan. You will not eat, because they will only cook at 5 a.m. in the morning, and they will cook at around 3 to 4 a.m. in the morning, and you eat before 5. So automatically, after you've eaten at around 5, you will not eat again till 7 at night. So if you are not a Muslim, the whole of fast month, you will not survive in that house. So I have no option but to become a Muslim. So I joined them. I became a Muslim. And in my heart, I know that I'm not a Muslim. But for him, he thought I was a Muslim. So in the morning, we all wake up. I'll eat to them. And then when I'm going to school, I know I have money. So when I go to school, I'll eat a lot also. and then when I get back home, they thought we are all fasting. And I will not say anything because I was forced to become a Muslim. Otherwise, I will not eat at home. So I will not say anything. In the evening, you see, I will also be spitting all around. If I will go to my room and sleep, waiting for the time for us to eat, I will not even worry. I will not even mind them because I know what is in my mind. So when that time reached around 7, and we go again, we eat properly. And my uncle was very proud of me. You know, that I'm a good Muslim, I've become a Muslim, that I'm taking this thing serious. But I know in my mind. So I now think that even my son or my daughter, I should not force them into anything. Because if you force them, they will pretend to you that they are part of you, which to them, they know that they are not part of you. It's like when you have a son and the son is sitting there and then you tell the son, say, get up. Like Kato, you say, Emmanuel, get up. And I didn't get up. I'm still sitting there. And you say, Emmanuel, get up. To me, I'm still sitting down. And I didn't get up. And you say, Emmanuel, I'm talking to you. Get up. And then you see me, I stand up. Believe you me, you would think that I stand up. But in my mind, I'm still sitting down. Because I know I didn't do it willingly. You forced me. So you think I did it. I did it just to satisfy you. But I know as Emmanuel, I'm still sitting down. I did not stand up. So that is how religion is in Africa. And that is how religion is in Sierra Leone. Because our people are so naive that they have, in fact, in my country, if you are not Christian or Muslim, they say you'll be treated like a dog. But they will see that you are going to hell, you are not pure, you are nothing. So me being a humanist, and now with all this knowledge that I'm actually acquiring being part of this group, I'm also one day going back home. And because I know there is a lot of people in Sierra Leone who are not religious, but they will not stand there and say, I am not religious, because they don't want people to point fingers at them. They don't want people to say, oh, in fact, you are like a dog. But why would I go to Mecca for me to be holy? Why would I go to Mecca for me to go to heaven? Why? If I die in my country, I will not go to heaven, as you say. If I die in my country, I will not go to where you think I should go. Why would I go to Saudi Arabia? And if you see in the internet, you see how the Arabs are treating our Africans. They tie them, they kill them, because they are trying to go to Europe. If they go through like the Saudi Arabia, they go through the Morocco, they go through Algeria, you see them being killed, you see them being tortured, and people are there. And you are saying that I should go to that land before I go to your heaven. I should go to that land before I found peace. I should go to that land before my name is written in the book of life. Where is the book of life? Where is that book? So our mentality as Africans have been played on because of the schools they are building, because of the Islam schools, the Ahmadiyya schools, because of the Catholic schools. And I think these are responsible for us Africans for being so super religious in our different countries. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Mambo. That was a very good flow. I think there are things which you talked about and triggered my thinking. One, you Africans, what's wrong with you, Nandip? What's wrong with you, Ghanaians? You are building a cathedral worth billions of money. What's wrong with you, Sierra Leoneans? What's wrong with you, confused Ugandans? Look, who tells you that your land is not holy and the land of Israel is holy? Who tells you that Saudi Arabia has the holiest place? Do you use your head to think that Jerusalem is holy, but my own land, where I come from, is not holy? That Nigeria has no holy land, Ghana has no holy land, Sierra Leone has no holy land, but Saudi Arabia has a holy land? Nonsense. That Jerusalem has a holy land? Nonsense. If I was born in Uganda and Uganda feeds me, and I was raised on the soils of Uganda, Uganda is my holy land. You cannot tell me that a land far away in a desert, dry place, cursed. I call those places cursed places because they are dry, there's no food. The only thing they have is oil. They are windy, they are hot, they're a mess. And you compare it with my country, which has 12 months going for us, where fruits grow. My country is the Garden of Eden. How dare you tell me that my country is not the Holy Land? My country is the Holy Land. So why do you leave the Holy Land to go in the Middle East to look for God when my land is the Holy Land? Think. So Nandi, the fight I have, someone was asking a question here, I think it's called Favor. She's called Favor. She sent a question today and said, do you people want to say that we leave our religions? Are you guys trying to say we shouldn't believe in our religions? Someone called Favor Winner is asking a question. Now, these are the questions we need to help people digest. Favor. What religions are you talking about? There are 4,200 gods and the religions. So Favor, who do you think made your religion to be the better one of the other? And by the way, you are Favor Winner. What is your religion? And why do you think your religion is better than my non-religion? Confusion there, dismissed. Now, until we help these Africans like Favor Winner to think that Europeans, that Caucasians, that Arabs sold us a lie, Nandip, me and you, and Nana, and Mambu, these Europeans sold us a lie. Favor, my sister, I tell you, I love you very much. I'm telling you, as you watch us, we have no problem with you, but these guys sold us a lie. And that lie was meant to rule us. Not only rule us, enslave us, steal from us.
Comrade Kato, I'm Comrade Kato, I'm not.
Yes.
Let me come in. I know Favor. She's from Sierra Leone, and
Yes.
I want to say, Favor, if you actually want us to debate on this, I will give you a time, so you will come on on our TV, and then we'll do a debate on it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nambu. Actually, Favor, to me, she's a good woman. She just wants to learn. She says, I'm a Christian. I was a Christian, Favor. All of us here, incidentally, by bad luck, we were Christians. I call it bad luck. I wish my mother never forced her Catholicism into me. She wasted my 12 years into Catholicism. My mother wasted my 12 years into Catholicism. I wish she never forced me to become a Catholic for those 12 years. All of us are victims. Favor is a victim. Just like Nandip was a victim at 14. He is getting baptized into Catholicism, Nandip. In 2001, Nandip is becoming a bad guy under Catholicism. To conclude this on my part, as I go back to Nandip, why am I an atheist? And why do I take religion as taboo? There is a book I read, I was only 12 years, when I read a book called The Confessions. That book is written by Leo Tolstoy. In that book, I always say I love Russians because Russians made my brain. In that book, Leo defines religion. And he says it's a Latin word which literally means to bind. Pull back, bind, and put together, hold in one place. You see that kind of definition? What does the religion do to you, Nandip? And Favor, my sister there. The religion makes you numb. It goes into your oblongata and powers water. I have water here. It powers water in your brain. And instead of using your brain to think, you use water to think. You cannot think when you're using water. You can't think when this water is here in the brain. Now, this is what religion does, and it binds you into accepting absurdities. Now, you find Favor says, I'm a Christian. Since when? Favor. Since when are you Christian? Can you give us the etymology of Christianity? Since when were your ancestors Christians? And how many of them in their generations have been Christians? And why do you think Christianity is better than my non-religion? So until when we help these people in Africa to know that the imperialists used religion to enslave us, used the religion to steal from us, used the religion to make us submissive so they can be able to rule us. Nandip, there is no way you could rule a Taroko man without telling them, obey your master. The kingdom of God is yours. Happy are the poor, because the kingdom of God is yours. Nana, how can we be so stupid to be told that being poor is a blessing? Over to you, Nandip. Is being poor a blessing in Nigeria? Nandip, is being poor a blessing in Nigeria? Is Nandip hearing me? No. Nandip doesn't hear me. Now, Nandip is off. Let us go to Ghana. Ghana, tell me, these thieves came to Ghana and gave you a religion called Christianity. Other thieves came to Ghana and they gave you a religion called Islam. And other thieves came to Ghana and gave you so many other religions. Tell us, what has been the effect of these religions to the people of Ghana? My question goes to Nana. Nana is off again. Let us go to Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, you have heard my question to Ghana. I call them thieves. I call them thieves. I call them imperialists. I call them slave masters. Came to Africa and gave us their religions. What has been the impact of these religions they gave us?
The impact of this religion is just more confusion among us as Africans, and division among us as Africans. Because if you tell me that if I don't worship your God, it means I am not worthy, then it means you are trying to say that I am not even worthy to be a human. You know, they brought their religion, and now we are more religious than them. The amount of churches and mosques in Africa, I'm sure you cannot compare it to Europe. In my country, you cannot walk 3 streets without seeing more than 4 to 5 churches or mosques. So you see a lot of mosques, a lot of churches, and these are churches.
Got it. Nandip, continue Mambo. Nandip is communicating with us, but continue Mambo. We've got you, Nandip. Mambo, continue.
And these are all bringing confusion. Because if now you will see in the morning,
Dennis,
around 5, 6.
Mambo, a minute. Dennis, the producer, Nandip cannot hear us. Please help to fix his audio. Nandip cannot hear us. Nandip is saying he cannot hear us. Nandip, can you hear me? Nandip, can you hear me? No. And Mambo, continue. Nandip, the devil has visited him again.
His Tarok people have come for him. so like I was saying, we are so much now into this religion that like now when I'm talking on the TV, that this religion have actually affected our brains, our head, to the fact that we cannot even think properly. All our thoughts are religious thoughts. Everything we think, we feel, we do now are religious. And I can even feel that it is because of this religion that even Africa is not even developing. because of the so-called religious mentality that we have. So we have even forget actually to build Africa as a continent, and now we are building up religion. If we can forget about this religion and then focus on Africa, I think Africa will be more developed. But we have so much lost focus in developing ourselves as Africans.
Mm.
But rather, we are developing religion. An example to that is, I will go to church. I was in a church just because I was working in an NGO back home, and I was a member of a church. Because they know that every Sunday I will drive a car, come to church, an NGO car, come to church, dress very well. So I was even given a chair, not at the back, but at the front, to sit in the front. Why? Because I drive an yes, because of money, and I drive an NGO car every Sunday, and I dress very neat every Sunday. And even when I on Sundays when I'm not in church, they will write my name for like 10 bags cement. If there's any donation, even when I'm not there to say, okay, I will donate, somebody will write my name. I know Emmanuel will donate 3 bags cement, 4 bags cement. And I thought this was exploitation. I'm driving this car, but it's not my car. It is being owned by my NGO. I'm only I was only working for them. So seeing me in this car doesn't mean I have money. It means I'm only trying to survive. But if you are not writing my name for 10 bags cement, which I know I cannot easily afford, and even if I'm going to afford it, it's going to be planned, because I have family, I have myself, I have my home, I have my family to take care of, all in this one work that I'm doing. So how will you go and write my name for 5 bags cement when I'm not even around? So I decided to leave the church, because the expectation was too much, and this is religion in Africa.
I'm going to stop you there,
Yes.
Nalip. I'm going to stop you there, Mambu, so that my colleague from Ghana takes over. Ghana, over to you. Over to you. Tell us the impact of these bogus religions in your country, Ghana.
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Kato. It's so sad to talk about this topic because religion have made Ghanaians weak. Religion have made us um we are not seeing the future, and we don't even understand our own lives anymore. Because religion have hijacked every aspect of our life, our education, our social life, our family life, to the extent of our sexual life. And we think people who are into the business of religion are the most important or the most knowledgeable people. We can seek explanation whenever any tragedy befall us. And now, because we Ghanaians, before the Europeans came, we had our chiefs, our kings, and they were ruling us. But right now, because the foreign concept of religion have relegated this culture to the background, so even the chieftaincy aspects of our culture have been Christianized. You know, the king of the Ashanti belongs to the Anglican Church, because when at the early 20s, when they took Prempeh the first to Seychelles Island, because the Ashantis were fighting, so they first took him to Freetown, and they realized the Ashanti people were walking from Ghana to Freetown to come for their king. Then they took him from Freetown to Seychelles. So when he was coming, he was Anglicized. He had an English name. The Asante King had an English name. All the people, including Ya Asantua, the famous female warriors, were all given English names. When he came, most of the royals also were given English name. They were taken to school, and our culture we weren't supposed to be circumcised as a can, but right now it is the norm. Religion, but the Catholic Church was involved itself in our health sector. So I think during the early years, I think the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, because the Catholic Church was having this church and hospitals all over the place. Circumcision was introduced into our culture, and it has become it has become so like we think the circumcision have always been an African thing, but it wasn't just recently. It was just recently that we started doing this to ourselves. And one aspect of, I'm talking about a sexual aspect of a Christian a Christian young girl. A basic need of life is sexual intercourse. As a living thing, you must at least get some place to throw out something. So, but a Christian woman will, let me say, not a girl, a Christian woman will rather have sex or with a Christian man than with an unbeliever or a person from a different religion. And she considers that she knows it is a sin against her God, but she thinks her God will approve of that, with her sleeping with a Christian person than sleeping with an unreligious person, giving herself to an unreligious person. So it has bastardized everything. Like, even if you are eating and you don't pray, you are being frowned upon. My own food, I've prepared my own food, and someone will come from and I will start eating. The person will tell you, Apj, did you pray? As if it was prayer, as if it's my food was God, it was God who gave me the food. And our school, our syllabus, yesterday, I was talking with SKJ, the poet, and he's a teacher based in Tamale, and he was telling me how the syllabus have been programmed to fit the Christian worldview into the curriculum of our it is impeding growth. The last time I always continue to tell about the National Cathedral using over $400 million. Not even the cathedral is not yet there, but to dig a hole, and the Christian authorities are in power over that. They are in charge of that, and they are so corrupt that their church members have been praising them for them to be more corrupt. Their church members. It is just recently one of the clergy who was in charge of them, Nicholas Duncan Williams, resigned because he he saw that the outside world were looking at them, and it is a shame if you can connive with a group of Christian leaders to dupe this country of our hard-earned money. So religion has taken all of, and the Christians will not allow you to breathe, because if you want to, even because you have to start. I believe in top-down approach, but also the down-top approach is also good, because if we are able to talk with our fellow brothers, our fellow sisters who are Christians, they will not give you a chance. They will not give you a chance. That's why I always think the top-down approach is very good. So we need, critical thinkers. We need humanists as leaders, so they can transcend that humanism aspect of life to the masses. Because right now, the man who have the power, Akufo-Addo, is a notoriously religious gangster. The opposition leader, John Mahama, who used to be there, has been on Sunday. You see him going around churches, donating our hard-earned money to churches, because he's trying to win them. And if you listen to our parliament right now, they quote the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. So like we need help. We need a Messiah, not not the Christian type of Messiah.
We are our own Messiah.
Messiahs. We need Messiah to tell us ourselves that, no, look, we can't take religion to 2050 if we want to take religion to 2050, we will die, we will all perish. Because with religion, okay, because
I have to stop
with
you there
religion,
because we have hit.
you leave everything into the hands of a deity. But with humanism, you leave everything into the hands of human beings for us to deliberate about. Thank you very much, Comrade.
Yeah, it's a very good way of concluding. But with humanism, everything is human-centered. In fact, I should say, you are your own savior, Nana Kufo. Nana Kufo, there is no person anywhere in the world that is going to save you. Nana Kufo, you are your own savior. Until we people in Africa know that no country is going to come and save us, that no other people are going to come and save us, that we are our own enemies and our own saviors. I repeat this. We people in Africa are our own enemies and our own savior. No religion is going to save us. No foreign government is going to save us. No foreign NGO is going to save us. All of them want to steal from us. All of them want to steal from us. There's something they want from us. Until when we realize that there's something they want from us, and that we have the solutions as people in Africa, not them. The solution for Africa is not outside, it's within. Nana, you are the savior of your life. If you are sick and you don't take medicine, Nana, you will die. The same applies to me. Mambu, if you are sick and you don't take medicine, you will die. But first of all, if you don't accept that you are sick, begin by accepting that I'm sick. I have a problem. And therefore diagnose it, and therefore accept medicine. That is Africa. Africa must accept we are sick. And then we ask, what is the sickness? And then we ask, what is the solution? Medicine. I'm going to go back to Comrade Tarokman, Nandip Bongfa, sir. We have short our time. We are beyond 1 hour. So I'm going to give you exactly 3 minutes to come and conclude this show. 3 minutes for you. We can't hear you. Whatever happens.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Dennis, mute all of us.
Good. Dennis, mute all of us. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, I was the only one that a disabled person for the past 30 minutes, more than 30 minutes. I can hear you talking. I can hear Nana talking. I can hear Mabu talking. But I can see them, you guys talking, but I can't hear anything. So I've been like that for more than 30 minutes. So let me conclude it. Yes, as I was saying before you shut me off and then you bring me back again. Thank you, comrade. Yes, you can see in our tradition, like the name Mabu in my tribe means something that is difficult. My mother's name is Mamre, that is Amamre. That is something that is difficult for someone to control. So it's a traditional name. So in our own tradition, you cannot just take a child to the traditional enclaves. You have to allow that child to reach a certain age of reasoning of his own. I was initiated into the traditional groove when I was 17 years old. Not like the way the Catholic will take a child of 1 year or 3 months or 2 weeks to baptize. What will that child knows about Jesus Christ or Mary? So all these things that these European people are bringing to us is doesn't make sense to us. We should try to promote our traditional and cultural beliefs, although that is not kind of proven in scientific way. But we should not allow those things to go extinct. extinct because they try the Christianity and the Islam, they are making our traditional and cultural belief to go extinct, of which our children or our grandchildren or whatever children to come in future, they will not know anything about our history. So we should preserve our history by teaching our children and keeping our culture and tradition. That we should never allow these Christians and Islamic religion to make Africa lose their focus. In conclusion, just 1 minute, comrade. I want to take this opportunity to condole with my friend and brother, my elder brother, Barrister Solomon Selkab Dalong, of the demise of our mother last week. I met her some few years ago when I went to see my big brother to discuss things about him on politics. So she came out and see me and said, Ubachiro, that means in my dialect, have you come? I said, that is, yes, I've come. So she sat down with me, we talked, and then she said, Nga nang yemri irubukan, let me go and feed the local chickens. That's what she told me. And that's the last time I've seen her. So I really sympathize with my big brother. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to my comrade.
Thank you, sir.
And my elder brother, Solomon Dalong. I really condole him. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dennis, mute our colleague so I can be able to speak. Now, one thing as I conclude, Nandip, I don't agree with you, and we are going to fight on this one. But this fight is going to be continued in the next show. Nandip, I'm going to fight you. I don't agree with you when you say that Africans must preserve their African beliefs. Those are nonsensical beliefs. African beliefs are so hopeless, so stupid beliefs that even the hopeless Caucasian beliefs defeated us. So our beliefs must be the last one to accept. They are so hopeless. If I had a cane to beat, I would have beaten African gods. I would have killed African gods. I hate African gods. You man, never talk about African gods before me. I hate African gods. They are so stupid. They are so hopeless. If I can chase these Caucasian gods, these hopeless gods from Europe and Arabia, I will chase my gods out of my vocabulary. My friend, Nandip, if you are promoting and you want me to be on your side, promote African culture, not beliefs. Those are different things. Promote culture, not beliefs. Me, I love my culture. If you touch my culture, I fight you. Then this is going to put you back. I love my culture. I don't love my beliefs. I love my culture. I don't love my beliefs. Nandip, I will fight you over promoting African beliefs. I don't agree with hopeless African beliefs. Nana, give us a conclusion. Nandip, no way, don't come back.
It's interesting, and I really understand what you are saying. Our gods were the weakest of all gods because you can't sit here and you did not protect us, and you allow these white men to defeat us. We are not going back to worship those impotent gods. But what I'm saying is, what I want to say is, we must strive as human beings to look into the future. The past is good, culture is good, but as we usually say, culture is dynamic. So we must try to change certain aspects of our culture to fit into the modern day world, and also we must be futuristic because we must think about 2050, 2100, not the things that has happened 500 years ago. We must try to be futuristic because the West are trying to monopolize the future. If Africans don't know, the West are trying to monopolize the future, architecture, everything, technology, everything. It is the West who are producing all these things. So we must wake up as Africans and carry our tools and forge a better future for all of us. Thank you, Comrade Kato. Thank you, Humanists.
Thank you so much, Nana. There's someone called Ato Duncan. Ato Duncan says that's why I don't believe what you are saying. Putting my life in the hands of humans, sorry, but that is craziness. That we are crazy because we say, put your life in the hands of humans. Now, Ato calls us crazy. You guys are crazy. You gang are crazy. And he says, I would prefer to have my life in the hands of God. Ato, which God? There are 4,200 gods. Why do you think your God is better than my other hopeless gods? So I prefer to have my life in the hands of God than in the hand of any of you, please. Please, who says you put your life in my hand? Who told you that? Put your life in your hands, not mine. And then he said, please, what do you aim to achieve? We aim to change your thinking. Don't think like a bronze man, a man in Iron Age, a man in slave trade. We are in the age of knowing. That is one is dismissed with contempt. Let us go to Mambo. Mambo, your conclusion. We are short out of time. Mambo, your conclusion.
Yes, it's very short. And when I read Ato Duncan's, I was just smiling to myself. You see what I was telling you? The mind. We are so into this, like when you take a child and dump that child into a pool and take that child off, you see water running down the child. That is how religion is in us. That's our, you see, like what we are talking, what we are actually discussing now. Ato will be looking at us and he will be saying, these guys, is like they don't even know what they are saying. And you are telling us about putting your life in the hands of God. The God of what? The God of Israel or the God of Saudi Arabia? Which one of the God? Because even in the religion, there is confusion. Even in the church, there is confusion. This one is believing in this, and this one is believing in it. And at the end of the day, you see that even us as Africans, the reason why we abandoned our gods for the white God is because of money. It's because of poverty. It's because of our mentality. This is why we abandoned our gods. This is why we abandon our system, our tradition. We see ourselves as inhuman if you don't believe. I mean, if you are not a Christian, it means you are not even existing you are not even living a good life. But I can tell you, my brother, that I'm living a good life because somebody will not coerce me to give him money, all in the name of give it to God. Somebody will not coerce me to build a house for him where he will be generating money, him and his family, all in the name of I'm building a church and I'm building a mosque. And there is only one person that is deriving out of this. That is a pastor, the priest, the imam. They are enjoying these things. And you are there as a member. At the end of the day, they are also expecting you to give money. And you never see at the time of collection, the pastor will get up and say, okay, let me give this money to the church, to God. But you are giving this money to God. So our mentality as Africans is actually letting us down in this so-called religion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have concluded your side. Nana has concluded. I want to take it back to Nigeria because I know you are not satisfied with my conclusion. I should warn you. You talk about gods. You talk about African gods. You are going to fight. Don't tell me anything to do with African gods. Talk about culture, but also progressive culture. Conclude, Nandip.
Yes. No, Comrade Katu, Mabu, Anana, I didn't say anything about beliefs. I said our culture and tradition. We have already abandoned it for the Christian and the Muslim beliefs. The Christian and the Muslim belief. I didn't say we have to believe in our what culture and tradition. I'm talking about our culture and tradition, that we have to keep them. We should not abandon it. Yes,
Okay.
when we abandon it, we are lost people. We don't have history. Culture and tradition, they are our guide. They are our history, and that is what we have to look back on. Not beliefs in Christianity or Islam. These things are all imported beliefs to Africans. Thank you, comrade, for allowing me to.
Clean first. Clean first. Yes, we have ended on a very good note. Dennis,
Yes.
mute everyone. We have ended on a very good note because my brother and I, Nandip, we agree that let us maintain only the good cultural practices and our traditions. Nandip, you have only 2 children. You are 48. It means you know what's good for you. That our tradition of producing 100 children is useless. They agree with you. But the moment you talk about beliefs, I will fight you. Anyone who says beliefs, I hate the word beliefs. Don't talk about beliefs. Guys, the gang ends here. We have short 15 minutes past our time. We are coming back on this very show tomorrow. Everyone says goodbye, and then we meet tomorrow. Keep safe, keep positive, keep it at the gang. Let us meet tomorrow. And our viewers, thank you so much for watching us, and Dennis Bongole for the studio. See you tomorrow.